Hi, boys and girls. We're back for session 8. So, right now, I need you to make sure that you have a piece of paper and that you also have your favorite writing utensil. If you don't, pause it, go get it. All right, looks like we're ready. I think this is one of my favorite lessons in this fantasy unit because you're already doing the work. Readers, today I want you to think about the fantasy novels that you've been reading. Maybe like Chronicles of Narnia or my personal favorite, Harry Potter. So I'm wondering if you could think about how these stories go and do you see patterns in your character and the obstacles that they face? Do the characters always accomplish what they want right away, or do they have to work hard for it? Do they have to leave home, or do they get to stay? Many of you responded in your status of the class about your character having to leave their home and go on a journey. You've also already listed multiple problems. Boys and girls, what you have already figured out, I'm going to give you the word for it. You figured out that fantasy books just have structure. Most of the fantasy stories have a quest narrative structure. This means that there's a hero and he's given a quest and he has to go on a journey to achieve something, like Harry when he was searching for the Horcrux. Or maybe your character set his or her own quest, like Elizabeth, deciding to follow the dragon. Or maybe it could be like Harvey. He's got to decide, is he going to go back to the house that kept him as prisoner and free the other children? So today I want to teach you that experienced fantasy readers know that most fantasy stories follow a quest structure. What's often most interesting to these experienced readers then is to investigate two things. One, the internal quest, and number two, the external. Internal is what's on the inside. The external is something you can see on the outside. These are like their thoughts, their emotions, their feelings. This is the places that they're going to. Okay? Let me show you what I mean. Once you know how to expect a quest structure, you're going to start seeing it everywhere. Sometimes the quest involves rescuing a captive or a sacred object, like in Shrek, when he has to rescue the princess. Other times, the quest may ask the hero to destroy a villain or a dangerous object, like Harry Potter and Voldemort. The other common quest narrative is that the hero has gotten into another world or a place, and the journey itself is a quest, like Alice in Wonderland. Let's look at the quest of Harvey. Okay, and we're going to look at an internal quest of Harvey, and we're also going to look at an external quest of Harvey. So when you set up your paper today, boys and girls, I'm looking for something like this. I've got Harvey's internal quest. Think about who your character is. That's who you're going to put here. And then I've got this one, Harvey's external quest. Okay? These pictures are, honest to goodness, on the HyperDoc today. Yesterday, I could not for the life of me get those on there. These are on there. All right, so let's look at the external first. Like I said, these are the ones that you can see. External is outside, like an exoskeleton. Okay? So the first thing Harvey did was go to the house. Now you can see my chart kind of goes up because the more exciting it is, the higher up it is. Going to the house was exciting, but I think escaping the house would be more exciting. Then, when he finally escapes, he's got to find his home. That one's kind of sad, so that one kind of drooped back down. And then he decides to go back to the house. So you can see how this is getting more exciting. I'm not going to tell you what I put down here. I want you to listen to the story. The next one, this is Harvey's internal quest. So these are thoughts and things that are going through his mind. Okay? At the very beginning of the book, he was dealing with boredom. He was bored. The gray beast of February was going to eat him. And then he went to the holiday house. And, wow, I get to pick gifts for Christmas. I get to decide what I'm going to do while I'm at the house. Not fish, though, in the pond. Oh, man, I really miss my parents. Well, why don't you go call them? Resisting greed. Remember when he was up on the roof with Jive and Mar, and they were trying to get him to suck Wendell's blood? Remember that? And I'm not going to tell you what I put here either. I want you to listen to the story. You knew that was coming, right? So as you're reading your book, you're going to set up a page like this. One for the internal quest. You can flip it over on the back if you want to and do the external quest. You can just write on your paper. I wrote on the Post-it notes just so it could move faster for you this evening. It's fascinating to think about both of these quests. An inexperienced reader wouldn't even know that his or her fantasy followed a quest structure. And even more experienced would see that, yeah, there's some kind of structure here, but you're a sophisticated reader of fantasy. So you're able to think about all of these things, the setting, the power, learning what your character's learning, multiple problems, not judging a character, the dragons in the story, the life lessons in the story, as well as that internal and external quest. So today, this would be the chart that we would be gluing in our notebook. And I would like for you to think about a quest that one of your characters is on while I'm reading through this. So you can go ahead and get that brainstorming done. So when you're finished, you can just go ahead and pick up that piece of paper and start to write. But let's think about those external and internal quests. For an external quest, remember this is outside, something that people are seeing. The readers are thinking about. That's you. You're thinking about a big problem or a goal that your character has. You're thinking about a series of smaller obstacles. For that internal, that's what's inside. That's you thinking, or your main character thinking. And these are those internal flaws to fix or to get around, and conflicts that they have to overcome. Okay. When you're thinking about the work you want to do today, excuse me, boys and girls, it's really interesting work. You might still be adding to your dragons, where you're thinking about the problems that your character has. Some of you asked some questions about this, and I really appreciated that. If you have any questions, please ask. These pieces of paper you really need to keep up with because you're going to use them Friday on your Writing Long and Strong. So I can pull these out now, and I have a whole lot of information on them. Okay, so fill out your status of the class. Make one of these internal, external charts, okay, for your internal, external quest, and then read your fantasy book for 20 minutes. Okay? Keep reading, boys and girls.